To another top story tonight, months after people flocked to animal shelters looking for their pandemic pet, many of those same people are now returning them.
Yeah, and now those shelters are suffering from overcrowding. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating is out at one of them live tonight, the Trenton Animal Rocks shelter. Chris?
Kurt, good evening. Dogs and cats, once welcomed into families' homes during quarantine, we're told, are now being returned to shelters and in some cases even abandoned. Often it's a case of someone losing a job and not being able to afford that animal, but it has a very large impact, especially on this shelter here in Trenton. We're told by management they're now dealing with some very serious overcrowding. The Trenton Animals Rock Shelter is not at all a big facility. There are 20 cat cages inside and 20 cages for dogs, for a shelter that takes in on average 350 dogs and 200 cats in 1 year. So what do they do now with dogs that are surrendered, or like this one, Willow, found on the street?
Here, Willow, what's that? Come here. This is a good girl. Yeah, is that camera making you nervous?
Well, for now, Willow will have to stay in the intake office in this building until her owner is found or she's adopted.
She's super duper sweet. Come here. Yeah, she's a good girl. And we're hoping her owner will come forward, but unfortunately, we only have about a 20% reclaim rate.
Willow was found on Willow Street in Trenton by Animal Humane Officer Jose Munoz.
A lot of people are obviously not financially able to maintain a pet now, so we're finding more than abandonment, we're finding more owner surrenders.
With this lack of space, they've had to get creative, namely with foster care, offering up daytime or even weekend foster care for those who want to help but not adopt. The shelter has over 20 dogs right now in foster care because they're so short on space.
We've also done the temp foster thing, where we've pulled a lot of dogs into people's homes where they are giving us a week.
One of those helping is Mary Beth Boland, who is taking in Rusty for a few days, a surrender after his owner lost their job.
He was an owner surrender. He has some eye issues, so we're going to stop by the vet on our way home and get him some eye drops.
There is potential help on the way from the city of Trenton. 2 trailers were purchased 2 years ago to help with space.
They're supposed to be in this lot, which is actually part of the police department. So dogs could come in, we could do proper intake. They would just, once they were ready to be housed, would walk across the street to go into the kennels.
But the city council has yet to pass money to actually put them in place and hook up electric and plumbing. The shelter is hoping the council comes through by winter. Getting back to those trailers, we are told, again, they are already paid for, but still in the property of the manufacturer, still not here in Trenton. Finally, if you'd like to help out here, well, management says either adopt or foster. Back to you in the studio.